Do you struggle with making positive changes in your life? Well, you're in luck because today we are going to continue with our second video in a two-part video series all about 10 tips to break in a new habit here on Get Organized with Jodi. Hi, I'm Jodi Granok. I'm a certified professional organizer with over 15 years in the field. And when I work with my clients, a lot of times we work on physical types of organizing, like their closets or their kitchens or bathrooms, but we also work on creating systems that will help them be more organized. And so this is the second video in a two-part series on breaking in a new habit. So if you missed the first video, you can look up here in the upper right corner and click on part 1. So just to review, we mentioned last time that generally it takes about 3 weeks to break in a new habit and 6 months before that habit is ingrained. That means that when something prevents you from doing the new task once, you won't backslide and you can go right back to resuming the habit the next day. That's how long it takes for that to happen. So what I mean by that is, let's say that you had a new habit where you were going to go and work out at the gym every morning. And you may have been doing it for a few weeks or even a couple months. But until you get to that 6-month timeline, it is more likely that you can fall off the wagon, if you will. Let's say you go out of town or you go on vacation or you twist your ankle and something keeps you from doing this new habit for a day or two, but then everything just falls by the wayside and you just stop. It's because that habit wasn't truly ingrained. So we're talking about ways that you can break into new habits so that you're more likely to get to that 6-month benchmark. And again, these tips that we're doing in this video and the previous video all come from a great book that was written back in 2002, but still very relevant to today. It was written by Judith Kohlberg and Kathleen Nadeau, and the name of the book is ADD-Friendly Ways to Organize Your Life. Now, you don't have to have ADD to find these tips and the entire book very helpful. But if you do have ADD or ADHD, I strongly recommend checking out this book. It's great. All right, in our first video, we talked about the first 5 of these tips. Today, we're going to jump into tip number 6. When you're trying to break in a new habit, you want to practice instant corrections, which means if you forget to do your new habit, do it as soon as you remember. Instant corrections. Tip number 7 is to get back on the horse and ride. It's not going to do you any good if you beat yourself up for missing your new habit. Just chalk it up to a learning curve and carry on. So in the first 5 tips, they were focusing more on how to get to that new habit. These tips are more how to give yourself a break if you're not perfect, because who is? So if you miss it, correct it right away. If you miss it, don't beat yourself up. Get right back to it. Tip number 8, use problem solving if it's not working. Let's say that you were trying to come up with a new workout routine and you thought you were going to work out in the morning before you go to work. Maybe you're struggling to make that happen. Try accomplishing the task at a different time of day or use a different reminder system. Maybe you like working out after work instead. Maybe you like working out in the evening. Maybe you do want to work out in the morning, but you need a different set of alarms or reminders on your phone or a motivational sign. Use that problem solving. Don't give up on making this new habit stick. Tip number 9 is to practice the habit for at least 30 days in a row. There's something very satisfying about using a calendar and putting big X's on it. So much so, this is something that Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, talked about if you want to pick up a habit. He said, get some kind of calendar where you can actually mark it off with X's. Use your smartphone, your calendar, your planner, check off the days and monitor your progress. It's very satisfying when you're maybe not feeling the motivation one day to be able to look at your calendar and say, wow, but look at all these days I've done in a row. I don't want to mess up this chain. So really commit to trying it for at least 30 days in a row. That can help you over that hurdle. And tip number 10, reward yourself. Achieving a new habit takes a lot of determination and focus. And you want to congratulate yourself when you reach your goal because it's a big deal. Some of you may have grown up in a household where you were always taught to strive for the best. And maybe when you got to that, first A on a test, instead of your parents saying, great job on that A, they said, okay, but how about you get an A on the test in your other subject, right? I get it. But, we're always striving to be better, but we've got to take the time to acknowledge what we've accomplished. So taking the time to reward yourself is going to help you ingrain that habit and really celebrate the successes and keep going forward. I hope you found these 2 videos helpful. I would love to hear from you on how you're doing with your new habits. I encourage you to visit organizingmagic.com for more organizing resources, including our free e-newsletter and information about our monthly Zoom webinars, which are also free. And remember that new videos drop every Friday, so be in the know and click like and subscribe before you go, so you never miss a single video. I'll see you next time.